You confronted Mobb Deep about the beef they had with Tupac, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, we have a homie, man. Shout out to the homie. He my man to this day, Tiny. He's a Mexican from Cali, but was living in Arizona. He had a clothing store in Arizona. I believe it was Tucson, Arizona. And we was on tour with Bone Thugs and Harmony, and we happened to be in the same city and hotel, if I'm not mistaken. Either we was close to the hotel of Mobb Deep or in the same hotel. And if I'm not mistaken, either Tiny or his homies are the one that brought Mobb Deep out to Arizona to do the show. So they was Pac fans, you know what I mean? So Tiny was like, look, we got the Mexican homies out here. We got the strap. If y'all want us to get these dudes, we'll get them. And I'm the type of person, man, I don't like doing bully stuff. You know what I mean? Even though I had them the crazy way, but still at the same time, I'm like, no, tell me what hotel they was in. So we went to the hotel, I knocked on the door. As you can see, there's a video on YouTube about it, and I asked for, I believe the one who came out was Prodigy. He's the one who passed away, right?
Right.
So one of his homies opened the door, and I was like, yo, where Prodigy at? Where Mobb Deep? Tell him to come outside. And I remember he closed the door for a little bit. He came out, Prodigy came out, and I was like, I confronted him. What's up with this stuff you said about Pac and this and this and this and that? And it wasn't nothing hostile. He didn't say anything disrespectful. So we ended up like two men, young men, shook hands, hugged, and that was it. You know what I mean? But so I would say we squashed the beef. And we was deep. They was outnumbered. We was deep. Even when I was at his hotel, I wasn't by myself. My cousin was there, Reef, my little brother Camille, Quim, Nob, the Outlaws, the Mexican dudes is, in the back. So they was outnumbered. But I don't like to, it wasn't on no bully stuff, but we wanted to go to their room and just take advantage of him. I really wanted to know how he felt about Pac. You know what I mean? In my mindset, I would have said, okay, you feel this way. We with the homies, you know what I mean? You with your home. We could have just fought like men and shake hands. You know what I mean? So we wasn't going there to kill him or anything, but I definitely wanted to get a fight out of it. But I'm glad we was mature. That was the first stage of seeing, some maturity amongst rappers,
Right. How did Tupac feel about Mobb Deep when he was alive?
Man, Pac had, he felt disrespected. That's why he was coming at him. You know what I mean? He felt like, I remember when they first came out, Pac was a fan. When they first came out, Pac loved Mobb Deep. He was a fan of Mobb Deep. Like, he loved him. But when he was in prison and he kept hearing them doing songs and, they were saying stuff like Thug Life, we still living it. After he put the Vibe interview out saying that he's no longer living Thug Life. You know what I mean? So Pac felt like they taking shots at him now. And so that's why he just went at him. Pac would listen to artists, especially a lot of East Coast artists. Pac was a fan of these East Coast artists, and he was paying attention to any subliminal disses. You know what I mean? So Pac was on it, like he was listening to, he was. That's why he was able to come back. Whenever he hit him, he do some songs dissing him, he was coming back strong. You know what I mean? Because he was paying attention.
So Mobb Deep, they had a diss song called "Drop a Gem on Them." Did Tupac know about that diss song?
I don't think so, bro, because if I'm not mistaken, they dropped that, I believe, after Pac passed away, right? I believe.
Right.
Yeah, I don't
think...
think...
Yeah, it came out, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that came out after Pac passed away. When Pac was alive, Mobb Deep never said anything. Most of them songs came out after, if I'm not mistaken.
The beef y'all had with Xzibit, tell me about that.
The beef, shout out to Xzibit. I just had him on my podcast show a week ago. The thing with Xzibit is, and we spoke about this, it really wasn't no beef. Pac really didn't feel, and I told this to Xzibit, that Pac never felt that he dissed him. But because, Xzibit said something about fame or something like that and want the money and the fame, and then Pac dropped a song that said something about all I want is the money and the fame. So Edie thought that was a subliminal diss. And one thing about Pac, like Pac, he didn't think, you got to know Pac mindset, if he thought Xzibit dissed him, he's going to come back. But being that Edie said it, Pac was the type of person that, okay, well, Edie want to diss him, go ahead. You know what I mean? Y'all ride with me whenever I diss somebody. So Edie, if you feel like you want to diss him, I'm not even going to say nothing. But Pac personally never felt Xzibit dissed him. You know what I mean? So Edie decided to come and take a shot, and, Pac he was riding with Edie. And Xzibit on my podcast show, he kind of he clarified what happened. You know what I mean? He was like, no, I said this. And he ran into Edie, and they recently, not too long ago, ran into each other and spoke about the incident. So I was telling Xzibit because Pac didn't feel he dissed him. Pac was just the type of person, okay, if my homies want to diss you, then I have no other say so. You know what I mean? He said when he seen Pac, he thought Pac was gonna be like, oh man, like go crazy on him because he was like, I guess these guys think I dissed him. You know, and Xzibit said like, who dissed Pac? Like, why I'm on the West Coast, why would I diss Pac? So he said when he ran into Pac, Pac was cool. And I was telling him, I said, because Pac, he didn't. If Pac would have thought you dissed him, Xzibit, he would have came at you. You know what I mean? But he was just riding with Edie.